Yes.
Good afternoon. Today I have Sophia with me. Hiya, Sophia. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you very much, Donna. Yes, as Donna said, my name is Sophia Anyanwu. I'm British Nigerian, and also I'm also an author and a poet, and I've recently published about 7 books. And I've also written books that cover the genres of, I've written Christian romantic fiction. I've written as well as biblical Christian fiction, historical fiction, and a book for children and some poems. Yes, that's it about me. Thank you.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a writer?
No, not really. When I started off almost 40 years ago, I was just putting things down on bits of paper and an exercise book. I didn't get to know at all until I came to this country in 2000. When I came to UK in 2002, was that 3? Yeah. So I thought to myself, okay, all those books, all the stories I wrote years ago, I could start publishing them right away. I never imagined that these books become published one day. I just wrote them out of hobby, that kind of a thing. So back then I was in Nigeria and I just wrote them, I tried to hope that they could get published, but it wasn't possible in Nigeria back then. So I never really thought of myself as a writer until I really came to the UK in 2002. Yes, thank you. Yes.
And what made you choose those particular genres that you've written in? That's quite a wide variety that you've written.
You are very, very correct. That's true. I just write love, romantic stories. I started with poetry, There was nothing decisive. I just wrote as I was led, There was one, the historical one was after a kind of, there was what's it called now? There was a riot in the school I worked back then in 88 or so, or 87, I can't remember. Yeah, 1988. So that one was deliberate. I wrote a story to cover that. And then all the other stories I've been writing, they're just romantic fiction, Christian fiction, just like that. I'm what they call a pantsy writer. I just write as I'm led, Yes. Yes.
And do you base your books back home in Nigeria or do you base them in the UK?
That's a great question. Most of my writings were in Nigeria. So the settings are usually in Nigeria. But right now, there's a setting I have done. The ones I'm writing now, like the one I've written about 2 or 3 now, and they're both in Israel. Yes. So I've written 2 other books in the UK here, and their setting is in Israel. So that's a different one. Yes.
And if you were to be a character in any of your books that you've written so far, which would you choose?
Very interesting question. That's a very interesting question because when I write, I don't quite putting myself into my stories like that. I think that's a very, very interesting question. I'm going to have to think about that one. I think the one I wrote on, yes, maybe the one I wrote on Eliana. She's a prostitute, but she gave her life to Christ. I wouldn't want to be that kind of character, no. Maybe I would like to be her, which character can I talk about? Some of my characters are males, so, men character. You know what? That's a very difficult question. I can't think of any. Oh, yes. I know the character I want to be. I've remembered. One of my books titled Turning the Clock Hands Backwards. It's about a lady called Vivian. And I imagined I would have liked to have her life. It's a very interesting book because it's from a dream, you know. So I think I would have loved to have the kind of life she had at the beginning. She had everything life could offer. So yes, that book would be a good one. Yes, turning the clock hand backwards. That's it.
That sounds awesome. And out of all the books you've written, what's been your most fun scene or chapter to write, and what's been the most difficult?
Yes, the most fun book with the chapters would be the one I call Stories from the Heart. Yes, I enjoyed writing that because most of the stories were true stories, and it was published on the 20th of May this year, you know. So I really enjoyed writing that. That was great. And then the one I would find very difficult to write, which I found very difficult to write, was the one about Lord Jesus Christ. I was trying to write about his life, what his life would have been like, you know, before when he was born. You know, that was, I had to go and research. Anything that involves researching and all that can be a bit difficult. So I found that difficult, you know. But the stories from the heart, that was easy because there were stories that were true, drawn out from life, from university life, and all around me. That was fun to write. Yes.
When you've done research for your books, what's the most interesting thing you've learned about?
The research was mainly when I write books on Israel. I have to learn about the culture, about the Jews, their food, and their lifestyle. For example, I didn't know, for example, that you could tell that the Jews have names for the kind of beard they have. I also learned about the way they do their certain greetings for happy, you know, I can't remember now, but they have certain words for Happy New Year, Happy Sabbath, certain words like that into the culture. It was fun looking to Hebrew names, you know, and their meanings. That was fun. That was fun. I remember now. I enjoyed doing all that, looking for their names, what they meant, what they ate, culture, religious festivals, and you know, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
Do you hide any secret jokes or messages in your books that only a few people will understand?
You're very correct. That is possible true. There's a book I wrote, their journey on earth to heaven. It's a Christian fiction that has history, family. And some people might read that book and say, they will understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's talking about us here. Maybe they might think so, you know. So when you write books at times, there's no way you have to borrow faces from people, characters from family here and there, this from friends. You know what I mean, you know? You just borrow things left, right, center. And so I say, oh, that looks familiar. That sounds familiar, you know? So that is exactly what happened there. So that's a book I know that my family might read and say, I can identify with this. And for Christians, why not? They might be able to identify the truth about Christian life. Some people are very good Christians, they observe the rules, they don't commit fornication. And you have some people who are Christians who commit adultery. So, but I try to, as my books are as realistic as possible. I don't believe in hiding things that are real in life, like sex, violence, love, hatred. My books are full of life. They're very realistic. I make sure that they have characters that people can relate with, you see. So I wouldn't say I hide anything. I'm very open. The Confession is a very good, most of my books, if there's romance, there's romance. If there's love, there's love. If there's fighting, if there's crime, I say it as it is, you know. I don't hide anything. Yes.
Do you have any phobias, and would you write about them?
Because of my faith, I think I have phobias about writing certain topics. I might write about them, but don't hope to publish them. You know, when you talk about things that are very controversial, yeah, I might be scared to write, because sometimes when people read books, they might think the writer is that way, So I'm very careful about writing things that people from my faith might not understand. You understand? But then I know that in my books, like the confession, I have mixed marriages. The story about Eliana, I have people who are gay, who are, I have controversial characters in my books, I have a phobia because I want people thinking, I want people to be able to see things in a broad mind. You understand? That's the whole idea. People should gain enlightenment. People should be happy and feel comfortable with what they read, and people should feel blessed. Because that's what we writers want. We want our readers to be blessed, when they read our work. Exactly.
And since you became a writer, what's been your favorite standout moment so far?
Say that again.
Since you became a writer, what's been your favorite standout moment?
My favorite stand-up moments.
The most memorable, the best.
Oh, okay. I'm still, my best moments was when I saw that I have 23. It's very little, but I'm happy. I thank God for that. I'll have that for now. One of my books has 23 reviews on Amazon. I'm very, very happy about that. Every day I check, I go through Goodreads, I go through Amazon, seeing what book has gotten a new review. And when I see it, I tell you, I'm so excited. So when I have 5 reviews, my God, I read and read. I love reading my reviews, especially the 5-star ones. And those are my best days. But the worst moments for writers like us is when you've written a book and you have high hopes for it, but maybe so far so good, it has only 2 reviews. And I think one of my most unpleasant days was after a book launch, and I expected to have loads of, sales, and then there was none. I think for writers, that can be a very, very low point, but I believe God that his time is best for me, that will come later on by God's grace. Yes.
Have you made friends with lots of other authors since you became a writer?
Yes, I have. I do have friends a lot. I joined the Association of Christian Writers in July last year, just when COVID was at its, climax. And since joining that association of Christian writers, that led me to also go on to Twitter, a bit on Instagram. And of course, I picked up loads of friends on the Association of Christian Writers. So it was just a new family altogether, loads. And from 13 followers on Twitter, today I have about 1,700. And my followers when I joined association last year, July, I had maybe only about 50 followers on Facebook. But today I have about 2,000 followers. So I've gained loads of friends and real close friends and Association of Christian Writers, yes. ACW, as we say it. So I have loads of friends and we meet up on Zoom, on Facebook. We have Facebook pages and it's fun. Yes, I do. Thank you.
And do you get feedback from readers apart from your reviews?
Oh, yes, we have what we call beta readers. Sometimes before you, I've had these occasions where friends have volunteered to read my book and give me feedback. And I've also joined Bobby's biblical, it's called Fab Show, it's called where writers writing historical and biblical fiction writers, we come together and we have the opportunity when we meet to read our books out, and then members of the group with feedback. I've had that, I've enjoyed that privilege. That's a very nice one, yes, yes.
Would you consider doing any literary events next year?
Would I consider doing
literary events like book signings and readings at libraries and things?
I would love that. If I could get the opportunity, I'm still trying to see how to get such opportunities. I would love to go into libraries, schools. Maybe I should make more efforts. I did send out some books, drop some books in schools and libraries a year ago or so, but nobody has called me back to read, I don't know how the people do these things. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
And yeah, that's one thing I don't know, actually. If I find out, then I'll send you a message.
Oh, please. Anybody wants to hear from me, read, libraries, events, literature, I'm up for it. I'll be grateful, sure. Thank you.
And what's your biggest dream with your writing?
My biggest dream with my writing, did you say?
Yeah.
It's the same dream as everybody has, I can't remember whose book I saw on Twitter. 930 something reviews. Wow, that was fantastic. So can you imagine that? I would love to have, and well, let me just go straight to the point. My biggest dream concerning my writing career would love to have over 1,000 verified purchases with reviews, raving reviews, where readers are blessed. That would be so lovely. It sounds like magic, but with God, all things are possible. Nothing is too hard for God. I have hope. We'll get there one day. I don't know how, but somehow. Yes.
Would you like to see any of your books turned into TV series or films?
Wow, that's a dream, but dreams do come true. Of course. If my book can get into Netflix, because to be very frank, lots of people are not reading books these days. They want to just watch movies, So that's a dream. That would be a dream come true. Yes. I would love The Confession. I would love the books that I'm writing now, Cold Blood Murder and Eliana's story, and even their journey. Yeah, I would love my books to go on film, TV. Why not? Of course. Why not? Yes. Yes.
What authors do you admire?
Authors, Francine Rivers is one of them. And Susan, what's her name again? The lady who wrote one of my favorite series of books, Susan Howard. And you know what? I have so many, especially African writers as well. And their names have just flown off my head, I'm looking at their books in my library from afar off. I can't see their names. Zulu, oh, no, what's her name now? So many, really. I should have gotten their names down before coming here. That's a nice question. I do have loads of them, but I can't think of them now, apart from the person who, Lola Shoneyi, yes. Lola Shoneyi is one. And then the one who wrote Gadima, what's that her name now? Something Olis, I can't remember her name, Olisa something. Yeah, there's so many good writers out there. It's like trying to choose, oh my God, how can I give you a very good one? It's like trying to choose, if you go for a buffet and there's so loads of beautiful food, you don't know what to choose. Really, there's so many. Difficult to actually choose one, yes, that's true. Yes.
I don't think I could even name a top 10, let alone one. There's so
Top
many.
10, yes. Top 10, yes. I've mentioned Lola Shoneyi, Francie Rivers, Susan Howard, Elechi Amadi, Olisa Kwe, and Oh my God. There's also this lady. Oh gosh, I cannot forget her name. Something Mash or so. Can't remember now. So many good authors, so many good authors. And we have some good authors in my group as well too. But like I said, when you're having this kind of interview, names fly out of your head. I'm sure you've heard that several times. So many good authors. So many, so many. Yes. Okay. I
What do
think
you like to do in your free time, if you get any?
that's a good question because today was my free day, but I'm busy making questions for these pupils I teach at school and all that. So I've not had time for my writing. So free time is during the holidays. I'm trying to learn how to properly self-edit my books, self-publish, and do all that stuff because it's a lot of money to get a publisher, to get editors, to get this. So I'm going over my free time. I want to just go over and over and over my books. What I would like to do in my free time.
If you were able to travel to any period of time, either forwards or back, where would you like to go?
That's adventure. I've never given it a thought. I've never given it a thought. I wanted to, sometimes I think I'd have loved to live in the age before the computer age and all this, phone apps age. And, sometimes I like to go back to that time of life. Well, from my own background, really, where everybody is so innocent, where everybody is still a virgin, where everybody is still putting some wood on their head. I don't know why, but somehow I think I like thinking to those times when everybody's just in at peace, in tune with nature, Nobody is, there's no war, there's no conflict. That's a beautiful time. Everybody is so innocent, just like Adam and Eve. That time would be great, wouldn't it be? Yes. Yes, the Garden of Eden would be the best place to go to, I tell you, without the serpents being there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Mm.
Um, if God forbid your house was on fire, what one item would you rescue first?
Albums. I get a very big pillowcase and quickly put in all my albums and photographs. Oh, and my laptop, of course. Yes. Yeah, because there's some pictures one has taken. I don't know if one can ever capture them back. One can always, if you have money, you can buy your books. I think you can buy your laptop, I guess. I think I'll capture all my albums quickly. Yes. I love photographs. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, me too. And my signed books, actually. I'll be in and out. I've
Yes.
got so many. I have no chance.
Yes, you're right. Oh, gosh. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank
Well, I
you.
don't have any more questions unless there's anything that I haven't asked you or you think I haven't asked you that you want to tell us about.
Oh, you've asked me about everything. That's great. Um, I don't know what else to say. It's just that I just hope that when people watch our video, they'll connect with me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. They'll look for my website. And, I would love my books to really go around the world and bless people, like we've already said. But it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so, so much.
You're very welcome. It has been a pleasure. And we finally got there. It's taken a
Yes,
while,
at
but we
last.
got there.
Yes, we got there. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.